I'm back. I made it back today. So I am going to tackle this Oracle session. It's like 3 or 4 pages long, all about ascension. Now, why did I decide to tackle this tiny little topic? Well, because it is such a major topic, and this word and this theory of ascension has been thrown around really big time since 2012. I don't know how it is now. I think it's kind of quieted down in the New Age community. But I don't really know because I don't follow any of those people anymore. In 2012, I was like all into it, and everyone was talking about, oh, we're going to ascend. We're going to have like this flash event. We're going to be ascending. Light workers are going to have light bodies. There's going to be 2 Earths. I mean, all kinds of theories going on. But as I've grown up and awakened and learned a few things and settled down, I really can see how what I felt was we were using this term ascension incorrectly, because traditionally, from my perspective, that's used when someone has reached the end of their spiritual evolutionary journey on planet Earth and they ascend to another dimensional reality, when they have reached full enlightenment, whatever that means. I mean, it's way beyond me. Full enlightenment, and ding, they ascend. Their light body, their rainbow body, you can see their rainbow body, and they ascend to another dimension. Okay, so I wanted to ask the sage, is this all things ascension, including, is that the right term? And apparently it is. Okay, so I didn't start off great. I already had used the wrong word in my question. My first question was, is there a great energetic shift happening now? Like I said, I got, girl, you're already starting off cold. Is it the wrong question? No, but there is a word that is incorrect. So I rephrased it. Is there a great consciousness shift happening on this planet right now? Yes. Is ascension the correct term to use? Ding, ding, ding. Yes, it is. And it'll answer here in just a second, but it's because ascension is the correct term, but not the ascension of spiritual journey. We're all ascending into some higher planes. It's because Earth is physically ascending into a new location. And that's exactly what I asked. Is ascension the correct term? Yes. Ascend to a higher frequency, warm, ascending to a conscious awakening. And this is my fault. I'm asking weird, not being clear in my questions, or not knowing enough to ask the right question. Warm. So then I rephrased, is Earth ascending to a higher location? Yes. It's going to be a new placement of Earth in space and time. Yes. New location in the galaxy? No. So, because the galaxy's moving with us, right? The Earth is simply ascending into a new location in space and time based on higher frequencies. This is a complicated subject that I know like zero about. So the problem is with the questioner, not the answer. Anyway, so are people going to ascend as well? Yes, duh. Meaning they move with the planet. Does ascension depend on consciousness level? No. Now, see, this contradicts what was being talked about years ago around 2012. Like, you have to be awake in order to ascend, but that's not true at all. So let that go. All people will physically rise and ascend with the planet. Ding, ding, ding. All people will physically rise and ascend with the planet. This is why we call it an ascension. Everybody's ascending with the planet. And I don't know if this, they were talking, and that's a hot yes. Ding, ding, ding. You finally figured it out. Yeah, and I don't know if this, because people are moving with the ascension, if this is what makes it a historical thing in the universe? I have no idea. But anyway, everyone's moving with the planet. I mean, it's obvious. We're already in the process of it. Will this move us into the fourth density? A higher fourth density? No. Will it move us into the beginning levels of the fifth dimension? And I was like, negative, negative, negative. There's something wrong with the basis of your question. Then I got it. Earth already inhabits and encompasses these dimensions, these frequencies. Ding, ding, ding. Yes. So we don't really have to move anywhere in order to get to these they're already here. They're already in the here and now. Okay. All people move. Let's see. All people. I can't read my writing. I think. Oh yeah. All people will have access to these dimensions regardless of where Earth is located. No. However, Earth's ascension gives us greater access. Ding, ding, ding. So while there's right here and right now, and it has been, we've always had access to these higher dimensions. Okay, we didn't need Earth to move up. However, in the ascension process, as we move up, access to these dimensions will be easier. Okay, it's not that some people are moving into the fifth dimension to live there permanently, and the rest of the schmucks will stay here in the third dimension. So there's none of that going on. I hope this makes sense. As Earth ascends, will some live in the fifth dimension? I was like, negative, negative, no, negative. Light workers will ascend and live in the fifth dimension. No. This physical ascension will bring in Sat Yug, or the golden age. And it's like, the question's really bad. Just move on. Wouldn't answer. Ascension is more about energy integration. Remember that word energy? It's a bad word when we're speaking about ascension, because it's about consciousness. And so I got to know there's something wrong with your question. Try again. And I said, ascension is about higher frequency integration. Ding, ding, ding. Higher frequency correlates with higher consciousness. Yes. So it's not an energetic integration per se. It's about integrating higher frequencies. And I know that sounds like it should be the same thing, but I don't think I can personally explain it, but I understand what is being said here. It's kind of like Kundalini. People think it's an energy, but it is not. It's conscious awareness. It's essence. It has no energy to it. Energy, when you speak about energy, that's a manifest form of something. And what we're talking about at these higher frequencies is non-manifest something, conscious awareness. So we can't call it an energetic shift. It's higher frequencies leading us to higher consciousness levels. I hope that's clear. And I hope I've said that correctly. Okay. Let me see what else. So ascension is about, then I start, my questions get a little wonky. Sometimes you get really confused in all this. And so let's just see where I go. So ascension is about whether people can open to higher levels of consciousness. No. Ascension gives more people the opportunity to awaken consciousness through higher frequencies. Close, warm. Then I think I got tired. I had to come back. Next session. Are we already deep in higher frequencies? Cold. You're missing the point. Has Earth already ascended to a higher frequency? Warm, you could say that. Is Earth preparing to move to a higher frequency? Warm, you could say that. I'm like dancing around, so I haven't quite figured it out yet. is Earth in the process of moving backward? It's like, girl, you're missing something. Is there something wrong with my question? Ding, ding, ding. Earth is already in higher frequency, but more to go. Ding, ding, ding. Now you figured it out. Okay, so we have already shifted, as we well know, to a higher frequency, but we have lots more to go. Okay. Are we getting close to another frequency shift? Warm, yes, you could say that. Is this shift dependent on our location in the galaxy or the planet, something like that? Yes. And I thought, ooh, is a shift coming up in like 0 to 3 months? Warm, 3 to 6 months? No, cold, go back. And I said, is another shift about 1 month away? Yes. So I asked, is it around end of April, May? Yes. So another frequency shift is coming based on whatever astrological configuration is happening in about a month, maybe 5, maybe 6 weeks. I don't know what that is, but very interesting. Maybe some of you know. I asked, is there a particular planet playing a leading role in this shift? Warm, you're getting close. 2 planets, are there 2 planets? No. So is Sun a major player? Warm. All planets? No. And then it hit me. Oh, is it the combination of planet and sign constellation that is playing a leading role in this shift? Ding, ding, ding. Is it Pluto? No. Uranus? More, maybe a little bit. Jupiter? No, wrong direction. Saturn? Yes. So Saturn and whatever constellation or sign coming up is playing a major role in this. I think it's the upcoming shift. I think that's what I meant. Or maybe it's just the shift in general. Anyway, I did ask, is this would this constellation planet sign arrangement be based on Vedic astrology? No. Western? Warm. Some other system that's kind of like Western? Yes. I'll let you guys figure it out. It's really not important anyway. Okay, effects of the shift. Effects of these shift will awaken more consciousness. Ding, ding, ding. So we're going to have more people awaken to consciousness in about a month. It's really a good thing. Then I was asking some of these questions, like just the basis of it is wrong, but I'll share with you anyway. Cause more mental instability. Effects of this upcoming shift? No. Cause more chaos? No. Cold, you're cold. Negative effects on some people. And I got this is the judgment type question. There's a judgment in there. It's a bad question. Weather, climate, let's see, will this upcoming shift promote mostly good transformations? Warm, you're getting close. Will it affect weather and climate? Warm, maybe not so much. As more consciousness awakens, more things shift. Warm, of course. As we shift, stir up more volatile weather. Can't answer that. Okay, so I couldn't find the right question to ask. How will Earth respond with this next shift? More earthquakes? Yes. Stronger volatile weather? Can't answer. Volcanic activity? Yes. Rising seawater? Warm. Water or water? Rising seawater? Warm. Then it hit me. Oh, more melting of polar ice caps? Ding, ding, ding. I don't know where these things coming from. And then I asked, you cannot answer the weather questions because it is so highly manipulated. Yes. So there you go. I guess we already knew that. Let's see. So in in the Ascension story that was going around, there were some storylines of, you know, there would be splits. People who don't awaken might go to another planet or something. I can't remember all the stories, but hopefully this will answer a couple of them. Those who don't awaken will just be who they are and have always have been. Yes, meaning they're just going to go on with their lives, always be who they were and are. They're not going to change. Okay, they're just going to be normal. They're normal family members. Those who don't awaken will become more agitated. Yes. So there's an agitation. Agitation doesn't mean necessarily you're going to become violent, but there's an agitation in your field. Okay, it's just an agitation. Okay, maybe feeling out of sorts with what is going on in the world or what you see happening on the planet. It's just going to cause more agitation. But it doesn't mean agitation will necessarily lead to mental instability or other things. And then I asked, will they go crazy in the streets? And that crazy in the streets is from one of the top student of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who had all these predictions about what will happen during this phase transition. And he said people will go crazy in the streets. And so I asked, will they go crazy in the streets? And I got a no. So I think it's not going to be as dramatic as those predictions once saw. It's a little slower process. So, but I did ask, will this agitation lead to more violence and rebellion? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so for the majority of people, that agitation will just be agitating. But to many, it will lead to more violence and rebellion. Then I asked, does this violence and rebellion play a role in transformation? So I don't know. And I got a flat no. So, wondering if violence is ever the answer, violence and rebellion, is that ever the answer? And the sage says no. This violence and rebellion will only separate those people from the rising consciousness. Ding, ding, ding. Yes. Because there is no place for violence and rebellion in awakened consciousness. Let's see here. I think I was asking, will these people that are separated from consciousness, will they be transferred to another planet? No. So I'm just asking to confirm that other storyline. They're not going to be transferred to another planet. Will there be a split of two Earths? No. Okay. Then I asked, being separated from rising consciousness does not remove you from the planet. Yes. So as consciousness rises, people who are not awakening consciousness, they're just going to be there right there along with us. Okay. They're not going to be taken to another planet. They're on the journey with us. Okay. But there will begin a separation, but they're still going to remain right here. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong. Okay. So a couple times before I've spoken about a timeline split, like there was a timeline split around Christmas time or the elections, I can't remember. And I kind of wanted to ask, what did I mean by timeline split? And so I asked, that's a hard word to say, timeline splits refer to those who separate from rising consciousness. Ding, ding, ding. So I think that there are many timeline splits, or we could say timeline shifts, or each time we have a shift, there must be a timeline split where there's an opportunity to rise with consciousness or not, and each opportunity kind of what they say, the wheat from the chaff. Some choose not, and so it causes a timeline split so that they're, I think what I asked next was like, there are two, I asked, is there two evolutionary trajectories? And the sage says, you're warm, but what it is there's one evolutionary trajectory for those who awaken consciousness, and perhaps maybe just a staying where they are trajectory for those who choose to separate from consciousness, or maybe even a devolution, devolution. Anyway, so I think that's interesting. So those separating from consciousness will eventually leave Earth through death. Ding, ding, ding. So everyone's hanging around, whether awakened or not. They're going to be with us side by side. And those who, they will simply die of their natural causes and when their contracts are up. Okay. I hope this is intriguing, informing. What is the other word I'm looking for? I don't know why I can't find my words anymore. Oh, I need to go to the word library. Entertaining, at least. So what else? As Earth continues to ascend, will there be changes to the magnetic poles? Warm, maybe changes isn't the right word. As Earth continues to ascend, will it cause the poles to flip? Yes. As Earth, I don't know why I asked these questions, they were from my own understanding. As Earth ascends, do we gradually lose polarity systems? And what I mean, and the answer is like warm, yes, but you need to learn more. What I mean by polarity, as long as, let me just continue because I answered this question. As long as Earth has poles, there will be a duality environment. Yes. Is there a point in our ascension process that we lose the poles? No. So why did I ask this question? Because I was thinking about as we ascend, and the talk around town is, you know, as we ascend and we get to the golden age or beginning of the golden age, all the negative stuff goes away, or opposite stuff, this polarity system, good, bad, love, hate, peace, rage, anger. Those two things, like all the negative, quote unquote, negative stuff go away. And that's not the case. As long as Earth has poles, north-south poles, regardless of whether they flip or not, we will continue to live in a duality environment. And, you know, as far as the near future into this ascension process, that will continue. Does that make sense? Okay, so those things will still exist. Hate, love, okay? There will come a point where those things will no longer be appetizing to the people, okay? Is there a point in the ascension process where we reach unity consciousness? Warm, but you need to be more specific. And then it struck me. Unity consciousness is an individual state. Ding, ding, ding. So there isn't coming a time yet in the near future where we're going to hit a point in a shift and all of a sudden we all instantly are in unity consciousness. That unity consciousness is dependent on the individual and their own spiritual work. Okay? It's not an event that happens to all of us at the same time, like some flash event. Okay. And then I asked, does unity consciousness, let's see. Unity consciousness does not negate polarity systems. Warm, I think just the way I phrased that was a little wonky. So in unity consciousness, there's still duality systems. Unity consciousness includes duality expression, warm. But let me rephrase this. I asked it a better way. In unity consciousness, there is less and less dual expression. Ding, ding, ding. The sage liked how I phrased that. So it's just reminding us in unity consciousness, those quote unquote negative things still exist. However, there is less and less magnetic pull to that type of expression, but there is still can be that expression in a human being. Okay, where else? Let's see. And then I was asking about unity consciousness, about the term, because people use this term unity consciousness to speak or refer to the level of awareness called no self. They use this term unity consciousness in many definitive forms. And my understanding is what I asked the sage. I wanted the sage to kind of define what unity consciousness means from his perspective and my perspective. So I said, in unity consciousness, there is still a subject object perception. Yes. However, meaning there is a me and there's an object out there. I'm the subject and there's an object. However, there has been a realization that there is consciousness in everything. Everything has consciousness, and that we're all connected by this stream of consciousness. And the sage agreed to this term, that this is what unity consciousness means. So it means that there's still a subject, there's still a me, there's still a perception of a me, an individual here, but there's a realization that everything is consciousness and that we are connected by this web of consciousness. Okay, so that's how I'm using the term. All right, let's move on, shall we? I'm being weird today. Okay, in 1 year, we will see real positive manifestations on this planet. Yes. Between the years 2024 and 2025, the big shifts occur. Yes, the bigger shifts where we really begin to see real manifestations of change. Okay. By 2025, majority of people will have awakened consciousness. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, yes, yes. Not so fabulous. Will there still be people separated from consciousness? Yes, yes, yes. We told you. So I love how I can ask like the same question a different way, not even realize I'm asking the same. And the sage comes right back and says, yes, the majority of people can be awakened on this planet, but those who are separating from consciousness will still be here too. Okay. Do we have that? Yes. Then I was asking about, so will there still be people separated from consciousness? Yes, 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 by 2025. Okay. Then I was asking about this collective ego. I was saying it all wrong. By 2025, the current collective ego will be destroyed. Girl, wrong direction, cold. Will be transformed. Still cold. By 2025, the collective ego will be gone. No, try again. Choose your words wisely. By 2025, there will be less and less of a collective ego's program. Yes, meaning there will still be a collective ego, okay? But it will have less and less of the egoic programming because more people will have awakened to consciousness, and the ego, this idea of your individual ego, which is connected to the collective ego, you won't be buying into it anymore. So it'll be less and less of those programs secretly or unconsciously moving, causing people to act certain ways. So we'll still have a collective ego, just less programming. Okay. I was asking about it by 2025, and we're talking 4 or 5, 6 years from now. 2025, will we have access to food, water, and shelter for all? Warm, like I think maybe it was indicating like we're working towards that. So around 2025, we'll begin working towards that. I asked, is this something like a UBI? And I got cold. 2025 will be, we begin moving towards a prosperity for all system. Yes, and this is what I was talking about in the other video. So something during that time comes along, whether it's the Nasara Jasara thing, we begin looking at systems that are prosperity for all around 2025. So that's good. Not too long to wait, but I know if you're in that position, then it's a forever time to wait. Okay. By 2025, is there an equalization of all people? Warm. Once again, I think it's around that time we really start moving towards equality, prosperity, all the good things, okay? And I had to ask because this was another new age light worker thing that, we're going to ascend and we're going to have light bodies. I mean, that will be the case, but many hundreds of years from now. 2025, with those with awakened consciousness, will they see changes in their body? And what I was sending to the sage, light body. No, we're not going to see dramatic, crystalline changes in our bodies just yet, not by 2025. Okay, moving on. I'm almost done. The torture is almost over. 2025, where we have a new monetary system. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. 2025, those with awakened consciousness, will they manifest easier? No. Then it hit me. Manifesting is always easier with awakened consciousness. Ding, ding, ding. So it doesn't matter. With awakened consciousness, you can always manifest easily. Okay. Doesn't take ascension to do that. 2025, will a new political system begin forming, or some kind of new political, and the word political was an issue, but the sage knew what I was trying to say. And I got a warm, like, yes, something's going to be changing. There's a new system coming. 2025, no more political system? Yes. However, 2025, the US and other countries will still have leader or groups of leaders. Yes. I mean, that's only several years away, so that's obvious. However, will these leaders have awakened consciousness? Ding, ding, ding. So I think what's happening by 2025, when this, I guess it's 2024, 2025, a whole new system or way of doing things, and those who are running for office, I don't even see that there's going to be a political system, but the new leaders will already have awakened consciousness, and that's very, very good. That's when the change really begins, when we get leaders, and we have to have leaders, okay? At this point in our evolution, leaders are still necessary, groups of people who can come together and lead from awakened consciousness. We still need that, okay? Will they have awakened consciousness? Yes. From a human ego perspective, would you say the next 2 years will be difficult on the planet? Yes. Is there anything else I want to share? There is no one-time flash ascension event. Yes. Process is so gradual, almost unnoticed. And it kind of got a warm, like, it's being noticed, but you have to know what is going on to notice it. But for the most part, it's being unnoticed by most people. I think that's it. I hope that's answered some questions, or at least has been entertaining. Or maybe you needed to go to sleep and maybe I helped you go to sleep. I'm being really weird today. I can't quite get my groove, but so that's Ascension for you. But good things are coming. Okay. Until next time.